Chapter 86. The Ones Who Hurt Me. Too many names, too many promises, too many moments. Kalen, the one who made a live stream trashing me, sharing things without my permission, making me feel exposed and humiliated in front of people I barely knew. It wasn't just a video, it was a betrayal that spread fast and left me feeling alone. Deborah, who flipped me off in Miami, then did it again later like it was some joke, like my feelings didn't matter. Each time it stung more than the last. It wasn't just the gesture, it was what it said about how little respect I was getting. Emily, the one who joked, pressured me, embarrassed me, and ignored my boundaries over and over. She crossed lines I tried to set, and every time I said no, it was brushed off. It wasn't just the words or the pranks, it was the way she made me feel invisible, like my limits didn't count. Colt, who made racist comments and lied about my twisting stories and making others believe things that weren't true. It wasn't just unfair, it was painful and isolating. It made me question who I could trust. Florence, who encouraged dangerous behavior and made me the target for standing up to it. Instead of support, I got blamed. I learned that sometimes doing the right thing means becoming the one everyone wants to bring down. Parker, who twisted the truth and turned others against me. Friends became strangers, and strangers became enemies. It wasn't just gossip, it was a slow erosion of my world. Caroline, who criticized me for speaking up, telling me I was too much or causing problems. Her words made me doubt myself. That made me wonder if I was really the one at fault. Mackenzie, who crossed lines and wouldn't take no for an answer, no matter how clearly I said it. She kept pushing. It wasn't just annoying, it was scary. It made me question my own boundaries. Victoria, who told me to stop the drama while quietly supporting the people who caused it. Her words were a dismissal of my pain, a reminder that some people would rather keep things quiet than face the truth. These names aren't just people, they are memories I wish I didn't have. They are the echoes of moments that left scars, some visible, some buried deep inside. I write them here not to hold onto anger or to punish. I write them because the truth deserves to be seen, because these moments shaped me, whether I wanted them to or not. I'm not defined by these people or what they did, but I won't forget. Remembering is part of healing. It helps me understand what I went through, who I am today, and how can I move forward that with strength. These names are part of my story, but they're not the whole story. They're more. They're growth, courage, and hope, and that's what I choose to carry with me now. Chapter 87. The Double Standards. When I stood up for myself, I was immediately labeled as causing drama, but when they laughed at me, pushed me, gossiped, and lied, it was just joking or misunderstood. That double standard wasn't just unfair, it was hurtful. It made me feel like I was wrong for trying to protect myself and like my feelings didn't matter at all. Why is it always the person setting boundaries who ends up blamed? I kept asking myself this question. Every time I said no or tried to explain how I felt, I was told I was making things worse. Be the bigger person, they said. Just let it go. But how can I be that bigger person when the same people kept crossing the line? How can I stay calm when they were the ones causing chaos? I was expected to swallow my pain and pretend everything was okay while they got to laugh, joke, and continue. I was punished for speaking up, punished by whispers, behind my back, by people turning away, by being left out. Meanwhile, those who stayed quiet, who fit in, who didn't make waves were rewarding with acceptance, friendship, or even praise. That kind of unfairness crushed my spirit. It made me feel invisible, like my voice didn't count. It made me question whether standing up was worth the pain it caused. Sometimes I wonder if it would have been easier to stay silent, to blend in, to hide my true feelings just to avoid more trouble. But the truth is, staying silent never felt right. It never made the pain go away. Instead, those double standards focused me forced me to grow stronger. Not because I want to be tough, but because I had no choice. I learned to trust myself, to believe that my feelings were valid, even if others didn't see it. I learned that setting boundaries is a form of self respect, not drama. These experiences also opened my eyes to the people around me. I saw who truly stood up for me, for what's right, and who just stood up quietly. I realized some people would rather watch from the sidelines than take a risk. I saw how easy it was for some to be cruel when no one was holding them accountable. And I learned that sometimes the hardest thing to do is to be the one who says enough. I want to be clear. Standing up isn't about making problems or causing drama. It's about protecting yourself and demanding respect. It's about refusing to let others treat you badly just because they can. It's about saying, I matter and I deserve to be treated with kindness. I know now that speaking out comes with challenges. It made it might mean facing about criticism or losing some people along the way, but it's worth it because it's the only way to reclaim your power. Double standards tried to make me feel seen, but they didn't win. They taught me resilience. They taught me to speak louder when I'm silenced. They taught me that courage isn't of fear. It's standing up even when you're scared. So I keep setting my boundaries, I keep standing in my truth, and I keep reminding myself that I deserve to be treated with respect, no matter what anyone else says, because fairness isn't optional, and neither is my right to be heard. Chapter 88. Finding Real Friends and Allies. Not everyone hurt me. Not everyone hurt me. Amid all the pain and loneliness, there were people who helped me breathe again, who reminded me that kindness and royalty still exist, even when it feels like the world is against you. My sister and mother were the archers I needed when everything else was chaotic. When I felt invisible or attacked, they saw me. When I doubted myself, they believed in me. When I wanted to give up, they pushed me to keep going. They didn't just say the right words, they show up. Rather, that meant late night talks, standing up for me when others didn't, or simply sitting with me in silence so I wouldn't feel alone. Their support wasn't just comforting, it was life saving. I was lucky to have friends who stood beside me too. When Kaylin left rude comments on TikTok, some friends didn't hesitate to speak up and defend me. Their voices were like shields, protecting me from the worst of the online attacks. They reminded me I have people in my corner, people who cared enough to stand with my publicly, even if it meant drawing attention to themselves. That kind of royalty means more than I can say. Other friends helped me in quieter but just as important ways. When the weight of everything was too much, they listened. They didn't try to fix things or tell me what to do, they just let me talk, cry, and vent. Those moments of being heard made a difference when the world felt heavy and overwhelming. It's easy to underestimate how much it helps to help have someone simply listened without judgment or interruption. There were teachers and counselors who took the time to really listen. Not all adults understood what I was going through, but those who did made a huge difference. Some offered advice, others connected me with resources. Most importantly, they made me feel like my feelings and experiences matter. Having someone in a position of authority who believed me made me feel a little safer and a little stronger. And then there were classmates. Sometimes just simple gestures meant everything. A smile in the hallway, a hello in passing, an invitation to sit with them at lunch. These small acts of kindness didn't erase the hard days, but they reminded me that I wasn't invisible. They helped me feel like I belong, even if it is just a little. All these good people, family, friends, teachers, classmates, helped me stay grounded when everything else felt unstable. Their kindness was like a light cutting through the darkness. It reminded me that not everyone wants to tear me down. That's that there are people who want to lift me up, who want me to see me succeed, who believed in me even when I struggled to believe in myself. Their support helped me rebuild my confidence piece by piece. When I felt broken, they showed me that I could still be whole. When I dubbed myself my worth, they reminded me I was worthy of respect and friendship. When I thought I had no voice, they encouraged me to speak up and be heard. I'm so grateful for these people, for their loyalty, their patience, and their love. They didn't have to stand by me. But they did. They didn't have to defend me, but they did. They didn't have to believe in me, but they did, and that made all the difference. Because of them, I'm learning to trust again. Because of them, I'm learning that kindness is real. Because of them, I'm learning that I'm not alone. Even on my hardest days, there are people who will stand with me, who will help me carry the weight, and who will remind me that I'm stronger than I think. That's what real friends and allies do. They help you breathe again. Chapter 89, Letting Go but Not Forgetting. I won't forget what happened, the hurt, the betrayal, and confusion. There are not things I can simply erase. They are a part of my story now. Woven into the fabric of who I am, they have shaped me in ways I'm still discovering. I won't pretend they don't didn't have their didn't leave their mark, because they did, deeply and permanently. But I am learning, slowly, painfully, but steadily, to let go. But when I say let's go, I don't mean forgetting or pretending every day was okay. I'm trying to excuse the hurt or minimize what was done to me. Letting go isn't about the people who caused that pain. It's about reclaiming my own life. It's about taking back control over how much power those memories and people still have over me. I'm done giving my energy away to those who never respected me. I'm done replaying their words and actions in my head, letting their voices drown out my own. It's exhausting to carry anger, resentment, and fear like a weight that drags me down every day. I want to put that weight down, not because I'm weak, but because I'm strong enough to stop letting it define me. This is not an easy process. Some days the memories come crashing back with such force it feels like I'm drowning all over again. I find myself wanting to scream at the unfairness, to cry over the loss of trust and safely I notice had. There are moments when I want to fight back, to shout, I'm not broken, to anyone who made me feel small. But even in those months, what I really want, what learning to want, is peace. Peace doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring what happened. Peace means accepting that the past cannot be changed, but my future can still be shaped. It means learning to carry my scars with grace instead of letting them control my every step. Letting go is not a single choice. It's a series of tiny daily decisions. It's choosing to breathe through the pain itself instead of holding my breath. It's reminding myself that it's okay to feel hurt without letting the hurt me anymore. It's forgiving myself for the moments I still struggle while refusing to let those struggles hold me back. I'm learning that healing isn't about erasing the past, it's about integrating it, making peace with the parts of my story that are painful so they don't keep pulling me under. I'm learning to hold my pain gently, to honor what I felt without letting it consume me. This journey of letting go also means setting boundaries with others and with myself. It means saying no to people who didn't respect me, but also saying no to self-doubt and negative thoughts that try to creep in. It means protecting my heart even when it's scary to do so. Even though I carry these scars, I am not defined by them. They are a part of me, yes, but they don't tell the whole story. I am more than what I endured. I am more than the hurt, the fear, the anger. I am resilience. I am courage. I am growth. Letting go is my declaration that I will not be a prisoner to my past. It's my way of reclaiming my power and choosing to move forward. Not in spite of the pain, but because I survived it. And in this choice, I am finding peace. Peace that comes not from forgetting but from healing. Peace that comes not from surrounding but from strength. Peace that comes from knowing I am worthy of happiness no matter what happened before. Chapter 90, Rebuilding My Voice. I lost my voice many times. Sometimes it disappeared in crowded rooms where people laughed at me, not with me, but at me. In those moments, my words felt small, worthless, or even dangerous. I stopped speaking because I was afraid of being ri- ridicu- ridiculed or ignored. Other times, my voice vanished in the quiet of my phone, where went unanswered because I didn't have the courage to respond. I shut down conversations early, shutting out anyone who might hurt me again. Each time a little piece of my voice slipped away, buried beneath layers of fear, anxiety, and pain. Losing my voice wasn't just about silence, it was about feeling invisible, powerless, and unsure if what I had to say mattered at all. It was like the world told me, don't speak up, don't make waves, stay quiet so you don't cause trouble. And for a long time, I listened. But little by little, I began to rebuild it. I found my voice again in these pages, in the quiet act of writing down my story, my feelings, and my truths. Writing gave me a safe space where no one could interrupt, mock, or dismiss me. On paper, my thoughts matter. On these pages, I was finally allowed to be honest with myself. With every sentence, I felt a bit stronger, a bit more confident that my voice deserved to be heard. I found my voice when I took control of my boundaries, when I blocked people who crossed the line, who ignored my feelings, or who tried to silence me. Saying no and sticking to it was difficult, but it was necessary. It taught me that my voice was not just about speaking, but also about protecting what I cared about. It was about demanding respect even when others refused to give it. I found my voice when I stopped apologizing for being honest. For too long, I softened my words, second guessed my feelings, and said sorry just to avoid conflict. But I learned that honesty isn't rude or wrong, it's brave. It's standing in my truth. Even when it's uncomfortable or scary, speaking my mind without fear has been one of the most powerful steps in rebuilding who I am. My voice isn't perfect. Sometimes I stumble, sometimes I'm unsure, and sometimes I'm still afraid, but it's mine. It carries my story, all the pain, the growth, and the hope. It holds the lessons I've learned and the courage I'm still gathering every day. Now I use my voice for myself, not just to be heard, but to be understood. I speak to set boundaries, to share my experiences, and to stand tall in my truth. I use my voice to connect with others who might feel just as lost or silenced as I once did. Rebuilding my voice has been one of the hardest things I've ever done. It took time, patience, and a lot of courage. There were moments when I thought I'd never speak up again. But with every small step, every honest word, I reclaimed a piece of myself. This voice is more than just sound or words. It's my identity, my power, my way of shaping my story. It reminds me and others that I matter, that my thoughts and feelings matter, that I deserve to be listened to and respected. Every time I speak up, I take back a little more control. Every time I say what I truly feel, I break the silence that once held me down. Every time I refuse to shrink or hide, I rebuild the strength I thought I lost. And this voice, imperfect, growing, real, is mine to keep.